Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is once again another Quint Radio. And today we have a very special guest. We have my grandfather, Philip Sidney Thomas. And he can be telling us, what it was like to be in the 101st Airborne during the Vietnam War. Okay, so he should be calling here. I'm actually going to give him a ring in about 45 seconds and ask him the question that you guys asked. And he's going to be answering them to the best of his ability on Quint Radio. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give him a call here. And getting him on the phone. Just hold on a little bit. I'm going to come back whenever he answers. All right, so thank you for joining us here today. What was it like? We'll start off in the Army.
Well, it was probably a little different for each of us, but one thing we all had in common probably that we were young. And so when you're young, you kind of don't know what to expect. And we got in the Army there, and we was all thought we was weaned from the home life, but after a little while you start missing home and mama, you know.
Right.
You had to work through that and get yourself weaned. Some of us weaned faster than others. Some of us were slow weaners. But I guess I got through it. But it made a man out of the people that needed it the most, I guess.
It made men out of the boys.
It did. And basic training, once you got through all that if you was in just pretty good shape when you went in, the physical part of it wasn't that hard. But once you got to jump school, you're going to jump school to be an airborne. Well, then the physical part went uphill there. And it was a pretty good test, but it wasn't just something you couldn't do, you know. But it made you feel good to be part of the cream of the crop, the 101st Airborne Division.
Right, and how, what was the hardest test that you went through?
Well, there's several of them, but in the cold, I guess, we spent 2 weeks at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and the high during that 2 weeks was 12 degrees, and it went below zero every night. So we were in these little tents and in a sleeping bag. So you get mighty cold. That's the thing I remember about the worst part of it, I guess, was just being cold. For 2 weeks, you get out of your tent and go stand in the woods and eat off a tray, and the grease around your bacon would be white and it'd be so cold.
Man.
And then you just march on to outside bleachers and sit down while they lectured you on the M1 rifle or 105 or whatever the class was on.
I bet you hated those drill sergeants for having you sitting on a metal bench.
Well, yeah, they had done it before. They knew how to push our button and keep us mad. You know, when you're young, you didn't get it that good.
Yeah, well, especially not in the Army.
But it was fun to be able to jump. That was like the ultimate carnival ride, you know.
And how long would you be in the air until you got to
Well,
the
it
ground?
wasn't that long, so you'd only be at about, I think we jumped at 1,200 feet. And, see, probably once your chute was open, you had about a minute or two, maybe, before you hit the ground and jump up and pack your chute in a bag and run off this drop zone. But it was fun. The night jumps wasn't that much fun because you couldn't see. You couldn't see the view you get in the daytime, and it's kind of spooky wondering where the ground is.
Yeah. And didn't you fall into somebody's chute one time?
Oh yeah, at night, so you can't see the guy below you, and for some reason my chute was traveling a little faster than his. And I landed in his chute, and that stuff come up, chute come all up around you, and you just try to run on your hands and knees, whatever you can do to get off of it. Because if you don't get off of it, your chute will collapse, and it's possible you could even collapse his chute. So they let you know right quick if you're on their chute to get off of it, please.
Yeah, I can imagine how they say that in so many words.
Yeah. Something we couldn't say on the radio, you know.
Well, I can only imagine that.
Mm.
I even thought about telling you before I synced you into the radio about keeping it appropriate. I guess you got that message.
You know, the old grandpa, I'm on my best grandpa behavior this morning. But I appreciate you having me on the show. And
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us that spiel on the
good
Army.
luck with it. Well, what's the name of your show and how do I find it?
Quint Radio. You know my YouTube name, Quint Radio.
Quint Radio?
Yes, sir.
Is that like a .com or something?
No, sir. It's within my YouTube channel. So whenever you go over to Aunt Corey and Uncle Michael's, you can go over there and get and just check it out on the YouTube channel.
I will. Well, thanks. Quint Radio, and that's on your YouTube channel there.
Yes, sir. All right. Well,
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and call me back when you're off the air.
I sure will. I love you. Happy New Year.
I love you too. Happy New Year.
All right. Bye-bye. So, yeah, that was my grandfather. He was drafted, like most soldiers were, and he was in the Army, and then he went, well, I kind of don't like this, because he was tracking to be a Marine, just from what he's told me and my knowledge of what most of those men had. And then he went to jump school and joined the 101st Airborne. And, you know, I would love to join the Army. I think it'd be so much fun. I just, I don't really want to make that a career, and I wouldn't just want to do it for the 4-year or 15-month tour of Afghan or Iraq. That's why, like I said, I want to be in the FBI. Still get to shoot at people, still get to be shot at, but at the end of the day, I have a nice paycheck, and I also get to pretty well come home safely. And, so anyway, this has been Quint Radio. I'll see ya. And one more thing also. There's you can check me out. I'm going to be making a website, actually, quintradio.com, but that's not until a later date. But until next time, this has been Quint 1836. I'll see you.